Hey, what's going on, Who That Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. Welcome to the State of the Saints podcast live. Thank you for checking this out. This is not going to be a long. This is not going to be a long video at all, folks. Right now, we're actually dealing with some things out here in the Carolinas. They got a tropical storm about to come through later on in the afternoon. So, as y'all know, I'm on the air, and it's going to be a little bit crazy. So we try to keep people up to date on like storm stuff when the storm coming through, letting people know about shelters and stuff like that, and different things that they need. So this is not going to be a very long show. So I want to say thank you all for taking the time out to check out the video. Right now, I'm pulling up some names here because the New Orleans Saints had cut a few players, and I want to make sure that I give you all their names. But in the meantime, thank you for tuning in, and thank you all for checking out some of the videos that I put out. Some of the videos that were available to you. Once again, want to thank Mr. John DeShazer for being a guest on the State of the Saints podcast on last week. We got a big week coming up, man. This week on Thursday, we have Saints scout, also college football analyst Mike Detillier. He's going to be on the show on Thursday, man. Thursday morning, so it's going to be about 10 a.m. So if you're not doing anything on Thursday, make sure that you keep that put that on your schedule. Mike Detillier is going to be there, and also later on in the week, Mike Triplett of ESPN is going to be on the show. And we got a couple more people that we're trying to line up, a couple Saints analysts and stuff like that. So I'm very excited about some of the things that are coming up for the State of the Saints podcast. The only thing I can tell you is just to keep it locked in. Thank you all so much for your love and your support, and everybody has been supporting the State of the Saints podcast since day one. I owe a lot to you all, and I really do appreciate everything you all do. So I just want to let that be known right now. Like I said, I'm trying to pull up some of these names. I want to make sure that I got some of these names on the list, but just a few in particular. I know one stands out among most of them is Tommy Lee Lewis. Tommy Lee Lewis, I think we all know, he was the guy that was the victim of the infamous controversial nine call that happened in NFC Championship game. Tommy Lee Lewis was brought back to the New Orleans Saints late last year. He signed with the Detroit Lions before the season started in 2019, but it didn't pan out, and the Saints ended up going back and getting him. Tommy Lee Lewis did some good things. He was a guy who, played mostly on special teams, and he also, played a few snaps. But Tommy Lee Lewis was one of those guys that, there was an uphill battle for him, man. When you look at the Saints wide receiver corps, when you look at some of the guys that are coming in, the guys that are still here, you can't be surprised that Tommy Lee Lewis is not on the team anymore. I mean, the Saints, you can say that probably their deepest position is the wide receiver position. Now, when you want to talk about production, I mean, we can say that conversation for another day. But as far as them being deep at the roster position, I mean, it's pretty stacked. So Tommy Lee Lewis is one, and also Dietrich Nichols was another guy, the guy from the XFL, the one that led the XFL in interceptions. He also was cut. Cumberson was also cut by the team. Keyshawn Hogan was another guy who played in a couple games last season. Really didn't do too much of anything. I think he only had like one catch, and that was in the Tennessee Titans game. So it just seemed like the Saints were just trying to trim the fat a little bit, trying to get themselves at 80 roster spots for this coming training camp. The training camp has not taken place yet. Teams cannot do anything physical until August 12th. That's when they can put on the shoulder pads, and also, the helmets and shells. They can't put on like any knee pads or anything like that. So they can't do anything until the 12th, and also they have their strength and conditioning test coming up. And it seems like Sean Payton is not going to he's not going to spare any punches when it comes to this. He wants to make sure that guys are in top physical condition, especially since there were no OTAs, no mini camps, And you can really tell that Sean Payton is extremely upset. He's extremely angry. You know what I'm saying? The way that the NFL has made this training camp so far. You know, the way that they scheduled it. You can tell in his conversation. You can tell the way that he's speaking. He's really frustrated, and he wants no part of this, man. He wants the league to be the way that it was. He wants the guys to be able to show up to camp and get at it. So I think he's a little bit concerned about the camaraderie and also the health and the well being of these players. So Sean Payton is really chomping at the bit to make sure that the season gets started, but he wants to make sure that he gets a good look at some of these guys that can potentially make the team. And due to this new schedule by the NFL, they're making it hard to. And, you know, it's not. I can't say I too much blame the NFL. I can't. You know, like you got to make sure that people are safe. The players, you know, they were threatening to not show up because they wanted a better, safer, and work environment. So you can, on one hand, blame the NFL for not making a safe work environment, and then on the other hand, complain because it doesn't work with your schedule. It doesn't work like that. I mean, some sacrifices have got to be made in order for this thing to pop off. So I understand Sean Payton's frustration, but I still understand the NFL doing what they need to do in order to keep the players safe. Even though I don't feel like that's their main objective, but that's just my personal opinion. Who that nation? What's going on? We got Dwayne in the room. The Truth Hurts. Jerry Poole here. Keen Arthur. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna make it quick, folks. I'm probably gonna go for about 10 minutes, man. 10 more minutes. I'm answering some of your questions, and like I said, I do apologize, but like I said, tropical storm is about to hit land pretty soon. Here, we're gonna have some real bad rainstorms and stuff like that. The reason I didn't even come on at 12 noon Eastern was because I just had like an email that just got sent about some closures that's about to take place in the city of Myrtle Beach and surrounding areas. So, like I said, I apologize for that, but duty calls. King Arthur says, TJ, do you see us bringing back any of the cut players down the line? Teams do that because with the first round of cuts, they're just trying to trim the roster, and I'm not want certain players. Well, I can see that happening, King Arthur. You know, I mean, things happen, guys get hurt, and it's always good to have some guys on speed dial that you know that you can bring in and they can contribute to the team because they understand the offense. They played in the offense, they played with the players, and the locker room knows them. So it's a plus, man. It's a good look. You know what I'm saying, if they can come on back, but I don't know, man, especially at the wide receiver position. And like I said, man, I'm having trouble actually finding this list, and I would be able to let you all know who was cut. Well, okay, I've just pulled it up right here. Okay, I mean, I'm looking at this list right now. I mean, Gus Cumberlander, you know what I'm saying? That's a guy who is a long shot in my opinion. Krishan Hogan, he was another guy. Like I said, he played. I can see him possibly coming back. Defensive back Chris Johnson, probably a long shot. Unless we talking some special teams type stuff. Tommy Lee Lewis, that's a maybe as well. Tackle Adrian McGee, running back Taquan Mizell. Look, I can't see a guy like Taquan Mizell making his team. Let's just be serious about this, man. Like, this dude was just here for a roster body. I mean, he had a good, respectable career at Notre Dame, but I can't see this dude up in here making no squad. Dietrich Nichols is a guy I can see coming back because there's always depth needed in the secondary. And fullback Ricky Ortiz, man, I can see him coming back as well. He did an outstanding job in a couple games when, you know, the Saints had some fullback issues and guys went down. So I could see him coming back as well. So it's a possibility, King Arthur. I mean, some of these guys can come back, but some of them I can't see that happening. Now, why would we cut someone just to bring them back? I mean, it happened all the time, man. I mean, you remember Andy Tanner, right? You know what I'm saying? Andy Tanner got cut about 1,000,000 times. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they kept on bringing him back. I think Tanner got cut like 13 times, and the Saints kept bringing him back. So Andy was like a team favorite. You know, so it's possible. You know, it's a possibility. Praying for you in South Carolina. Heard Isaias became a hurricane and is coming to the Carolinas. Yeah, it's a category 1, man, but we gonna really just get a lot of strong winds. It's not really even gonna be that much rain or anything like that. It might knock some trees over or something like that. But nevertheless, I think that we should be okay, man. Only productive wide receiver we have is Michael Thomas. Well, we got Emmanuel Sanders now, who that nation. So that's your production right there. I know he gonna be productive as long as he stays healthy. Joe says, "What up, TJ? See you doing big things with all these interviews, boy. You shining like a star on this podcast. Keep doing your thing, my boy. Man, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. But I'm not a star, man. I'm not, man. I just love what I do, and you all make it so fun to be in front of this camera, rather it be my phone or my webcam at home. You all make it fun, man. You make me want to do this show. So without you all, I wouldn't have the platform. Without you all, I wouldn't have these interviews, and so and I probably wouldn't have the confidence to actually conduct these interviews with some of these people. So I owe it all to you all. So your boy is not a star. You know what I'm saying? Nothing of the such. I just try to make sure I give you all the best content possible. And I'm blessed that they have some very nice people out there. You know what I'm saying, that I email, and they're nice enough to be a part of the show. So thank y'all for y'all support, man. That's the number one thing. Wouldn't be here without you all. Wouldn't matter, you know what I'm saying, at all if it wasn't for you all. So appreciate it, Joe. Did you think Tommy Stevens would make the roster, TJ, the 7th round pick we gave up so much for? Yeah, who that nation? I definitely thought he was gonna make the roster. First off, he was selected. And also he's a quarterback, and he does some great things, man. This is a guy that has a good scout team look to him. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to him, but he has a good scout look to him. A guy that can scramble around, can throw the ball down the field, that can improvise on plays. And anybody that understands what scout team is basically like you become the quarterback that the team is going to play that week. And, you go up against the defense. So if they need you to be Patrick Mahomes, a guy that scrambles around the pocket and throw the ball down the field on the run, even though you don't possess the same skill set, the ability, or the intangibles as a Patrick Mahomes, you still can do some pretty decent things. And I think he's in a good spot, man. The fact that he is so dynamic, and also he can actually go into the quarterback room and learn from guys like Drew Brees and Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill. So not a surprise that he didn't get cut. He will be on the practice squad. I think the Saints going to carry him along because he's a good guy that can give them good looks in practice. I heard Sean Payton created a camp bubble for the players in a hotel rentals. I have to verify that, Jerry. I'm not sure about that, but if he did, that's a pretty smart idea. Sean Payton always tries to be, ahead of the curve. Sometimes it comes back and bite him in the behind because he overthinks things too much. But I mean, this is one of those times where his overthinking actually is beneficial. Sean Payton is one of those guys that knows what to do. You know what I'm saying, in certain situations. You know what I'm saying. He always just prepared for the worst. And sometimes him preparing for the worst is the worst. But staying in hotels among guys that as of right now, have a 0% coronavirus rate on the Saints team. Nobody on the Saints roster contracted the coronavirus. And that's a plus because, we've been hearing about head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, Doug Peterson. He has COVID-19. I think Matthew Stafford has COVID-19 out there in Detroit. So the fact that the Saints are 100% COVID-19 free, you want to keep it that way because you're already going through a situation with the NFL when you're not practicing anything like that. So you don't want guys to contract COVID-19 and push them back even further. So I think that's a smart idea, a very smart idea. Let's see. Tyrell says, do you think we'll see all 3 quarterbacks under center this year? By that, do you see Sean Payton scripting plays for Jameis just like he did for Taysom, just to keep the defense on their toes? Tyrell, I can see that happening. I can actually see that happening in week 1. And not because it's a good strategic idea. It's just the fact that Sean Payton is one of the pettiest human beings on the face of God's green earth. Because we know that week 1, The Saints are playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and we know that the Saints just so happen to have the former starting quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the team. So it would not surprise me to see Jameis hit the field on a goal line situation to throw a touchdown just to shove it into the face of his former team. I mean, we've seen that before. I mean, it was a play that was set up in Minnesota. We had, Teddy Bridgewater out there, you know what I'm saying, at the wide receiver position in Minnesota. So you know that pass was probably going to go to Teddy Bridgewater, just to try to stick it to the Minnesota Vikings team. So Sean Payton is extremely petty. So do I think that's going to happen? Absolutely, absolutely. I think you're going to see that in week one. You cut people to move pieces and see what you have. You hate me. Just kidding. What are you talking about, Josh? Who hates you? I don't hate you. I know I know, and I want to apologize to you too, man. And I know I said I was gonna do a show over the weekend, but man, it's been crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, they have a tropical storm about to hit landfall pretty soon. People are packing up and stuff like that, trying to get like different things that they actually needed. And in the process, man, I was on dad duty all weekend, and not to mention, I'm getting ready for a wedding that's gonna take place next this coming Sunday. So didn't really have time, man. I felt bad, I didn't get an opportunity to actually do a show this weekend. But I promise I'll make it up to you, man. I promise I'll make it up to you, and I appreciate it. I appreciate everything you do, Josh. Real talk, man. I definitely don't hate you though. You are a star in my book, man. Best Saints podcast on YouTube. Well, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, Who That Nation. There's several other podcasts, that I love, that focus on New Orleans Saints. I think they all do a good job, but I appreciate the support that you all give me. I really do. Have you seen Sanders and the Saints all black unis? Yeah, I posted that on the Facebook page of the State of the Saints. Yeah, I saw it, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, he looked good in the black and gold. So hopefully we can get some plays, man. I mean, they say if you look good, you feel good. You feel good, you play good. You play good, you get paid good. So he already got paid. He looked good. I don't know how good he feel. So hopefully he'll play good. ATJ, the team signed Daquez Denard. I wanted us to grab him. That's no surprise, man. Like I said, you're probably about to start seeing guys who were on the free agent market for throughout the entire time. Y'all about to see them get signed since training camp about to be on and popping. So that doesn't surprise me at all. But that's a miss by the Saints. But I mean, he's a guy that has a lot of left in the tank. I know he had some injuries and he kind of fell off for at least 2 seasons. But I mean, he's still a good, solid cornerback, especially if you put him inside the nickel. TJ Davenport has been very quiet during the offseason. Should that be a concern, especially with talks of Clowney? No, I don't, because first off, Davenport is not wired that way. Davenport is not one of those guys that you just see frequently on social media. He doesn't work like that, man. He's a quiet guy. He's a private guy. Him and Sheldon Rankins probably some of the most private individuals. You can throw Ramcheck in there too. I mean, they rarely even use their social media. So I really don't pay that much attention to, or I don't feel like you should pay that much attention to the fact that he's been quiet. I don't care how quiet he is, as long as he's loud on the field, as long as people know that he's out there and his presence is felt, I can care less what he does. Look, I understand that we live in a social media world today, and we feel like all of our athletes and our favorite players need to be on social media where we can keep a close eye on them to see what they're up to. But in reality, man, everybody is not a social media fan. Everybody is not trying to put all their business or display, their information or their personal life on social media. And I have no problem with that, man. So Davenport is a guy that I feel like is going to make an extra step. He's going to take a step forward. He's going to be a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger. Hopefully he'll be a little bit physical. And he should be more healthier, man. So I'm looking forward to a good, solid third year out of Davenport. And I really wouldn't put any stock in the fact that we haven't seen him on social media or even, any type of attention that he's supposed to have in the off season. As long as he's ready for the season, I'm good. TJ, who do you think is the biggest loss in the roster cuts? None of them. None of them, man. Man, look. Look, none of them, man. None of them. None of them. None of them are a big, huge loss. I mean, they were just camp bodies, man. They were just camp bodies. So, I mean, Tommy Lee Lewis, I mean, like I said, he did some good things, man. And Keyshawn Hogan, he did some good things in the run game. But let's be serious, man. Let's be real. Like, none of these guys are like gonna shock the world. None of these guys going all pro. None of these dudes going to the Pro Bowl. Okay, so nah, I don't think that anybody is a huge loss. Let's see, TJ. Do you see my guy Cam Jordan trash talking Tom Brady? He says who's talking about a team who's fighting for second place. Nah, I didn't see that, man. But I mean, Cam Jordan, that's just the way that he does, man. Cam Jordan likes to talk smack. Cam Jordan likes to get into the head of his opponents, and he's just a fun-loving guy. So I just think that's just his way of doing things. He did it with Matt Ryan. He does it with Matt Ryan. He did it with Cam Newton. Now it seems like he's just trying to do it with Tom Brady. Now that Tom Brady is in the division, Jameis should start in all our games against weak opponents so that Breeze stay fresh for the playoffs. Uh, I don't feel like there's no such thing as a weak opponent. I mean, we can't just look at this on paper anymore, Josh, and eyeball games and be like, this team gonna suck, this team gonna suck, this team gonna suck. Like teams get better every year. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a couple years ago, the Jacksonville Jaguars won the AFC Championship game. The Tennessee Titans won the AFC Championship games. Teams get better year after year, so we can't just say that automatically, like, oh man, this game right here is an easy game. Let's play Jameis. Nah, like we gotta play the teams that are in front of us because any team can beat any other team on any given Sunday, no matter how trash they may be or how trash teams may think that they are. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to let that be known right now. But folks, I'm sorry I have to cut this off. I really do apologize, man. I'm probably ain't no probably. We definitely got to go tonight anyway because it's round 2 of the worst quarterbacks in NFL Saints history. So be sure to stay locked to that on tonight. But be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com, search The State of the Saints Podcast, facebook.com, search The State of the Saints Podcast, and also you already know you can check out the audio version on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio. So once again, I apologize for cutting this video short, but duty calls, man. We got to deal with the tropical storm out here. And unless something happens in pertaining to the storm and I can't do anything, we will be going live for round 2 of the worst quarterbacks in Saints history. Till next time, all I gotta say is, who that?